Do you have a document called the certified copy of an entry, and do you know what it is?
No, I don't.
That's an interesting one. Is that to do with the permission to enter into a particular country? Is that what that's about?
Certified copy of an entry. Is that like birth certificate or something? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Not that I know of.
Of the 13th century.
Well, I've heard of many things, but as you read it out like that, then it kind of, I couldn't tell you exactly what it is. It sounds like you're talking about birth certificate or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've never heard it mentioned in those words.
Or is it a passport of some kind, or?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Not really, no.
No.
It's a copy, yes, of when I was born. I believe my parents had to register my birth. This is what we're told, you know. And so it has my birth date and my parents' names and occupation, I think, as well. Yes.
Do you have a document called a birth certificate?
I have a birth certificate.
I think I'm warming up to this now. Yes, I do have a birth certificate.
I don't have a copy of my birth certificate. I have that, well, I have what I've told you is I think is a birth certificate. But when my children were born, the certificate I have for them is nothing like the one that I had. So that's why, you know, I'm not sure exactly what you mean when you say that.
Yes.
As far as I know, it's one to be yes.
Did you know that they are the same document, but you believe it is called a birth certificate, which in fact it is not? What's your thought on that?
I vaguely remember reading, you know, you have to go back into your long-term memory, reading something of the kind. I can't remember the detail around it, but yeah.
That is a very good question, because I like to find out more information about these new inventions or different names of, like, you know, alternatives, what they like to call like a birth certificate. So it begs the question what it is that they like to call it a birth certificate. Why do they call it like that if it's something else? So it does make me beg to actually understand why.
I'm aware that there is a second document, but when I first found out, I was shocked. But I remembered that when my daughter was born, I was given the full birth certificate. And then when I needed to make a copy, I was just given a short version of a birth certificate. And then when I went to certain institutions to use it as evidence, they said, oh no, we need to see the big one.
Well, now you've said that, I know that it's not clear. It's not clear exactly what it means.
Certified copy of an entry. Certified copy of an entry. No, there's nothing there that says certified copy of an entry. It says birth, but no certificate.
And that the one that I have now is actually not the real thing, and that's my trade name.
It says, warning, a certificate is not evidence of entry.
Of what?
Identity.
Yes, and you know, that's what's emerging now, that I'm beginning to find out that it's not clear exactly what my birth certificate means. Does it mean that?
As far as I know, right, one's a document of entry. Oh, they're both called birth documents of entry, but not classed as a birth certificate.
No, it doesn't. Just obviously with like, just if you want to put it in a way that explains if it is indeed a birth certificate, it gives you the details of the birth and a certified copy of an entry of the birth and death.
It doesn't look like the one that I had. It looks a bit different than the ones.
Certificate of entry. Certificate of entry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it actually say birth certificate on it?
No, it doesn't. I think people just pursuant to the Births and Deaths Registration Act, but it doesn't actually say a birth certificate. But we've called it a birth certificate, haven't we?
Solely, this is when I was born, and these are who my parents are, etc. Or does it mean something else in relation to my relationship with the state or the government as such?
Why is it written differently? So why don't we have one that says this is a copy of your birth certificate, and instead of saying this?
If you're actually referring to the actual words birth certificate, it wouldn't be like this, that's for sure.
It doesn't say birth certificate at all.
Deception.
Elaborate.
They're telling us something that isn't there, or they're trying to convince us something other than what it is. Illusion, deception.
I think they've just, like everything, because something happened the other day, and I was about to challenge it, because as far as I was concerned, the legislation, the procedures that they'd put in place weren't actually correct in law. So I would assume that this is also, people have just decided that this is a form of identity, a loose form of identity.
It says certified copy of entry pursuant to the Births and Deaths Registration Act 1953.
And at the bottom it says certificate is not evidence of identity.
Certified copy of entry. This obviously gives you the general details about the person, and at the bottom it does state a certificate is not evidence of identity, but that's just general sort of knowledge anyway.
Warning, a certificate is not evidence of ID, really? I've been told to bring my birth certificate to prove myself. A certificate is not evidence of identity. What's going on there? This is getting confusing.
Yeah, true, good point. I think because when you're born, you're literally told that you need to get to register the birth.
This is the first time I've ever seen this.
Hence why we call it a birth certificate, because we believe that the fact that you're born means you need a certificate to prove that. That's the assumption, that you get a certificate to prove and to log in the system that your child is born and is therefore now part of the system.
This is why we need to be educated.
Know thyself, seek and ye shall find. I tell you this now, it's in no African mind. Searching, diamonds, gold, silver, platinum, them the kind of things, illusions you fathom. Yeah, they call it magic, right, you're right, it's tragic. I know, clever what they done, fantastic. Come against me now, you end up in a straitjacket. I'll prove you illiterate, one question, the language. Now who's the pickle in the sandwich? This kind of knowledge that you're hearing will damage you, destroy you. Don't worry, I'll employ you, get you back on track, so you can defend your own attack.
Gold chain round your neck, nothing to me. Diamonds in your teeth, nothing to me. You could be rolling 22s, nothing to me. Down with the truth, now that's something to me. Gold chain round your neck, nothing to me. Diamonds in your teeth, nothing to me. You could be rolling 22s, nothing to me. Down with the truth, now that's something to me.
Blah, 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 blah is all they're saying. Documentation I'm giving you, just not reading. Pay attention, brother man, sitting at your desk in a foreign land, but there's no land, it's all water. Now the ship is sinking, and the thought you're thinking, will you drown? There's no one to save this person caught up in a lie of deception, correction, coercion. That's what happens in that version, that's not living. Or take, yeah I know, no one giving. Break your back for someone else's wishes. Washing dishes, cleaning fishes, all these stresses. No one needs it, it just depresses.
Gold chain round your neck, nothing to me. Diamonds in your teeth, nothing to me. You could be rolling 22s, nothing to me. Down with the truth, now that's something to me. Gold chain round your neck, nothing to me. Diamonds in your teeth, nothing to me. You could be rolling 22s, nothing to me. Down with the truth, now that's something to me. Gold chain round your neck, nothing to me. Diamonds in your teeth, nothing to me. You could be rolling 22s, nothing to me. Down with the truth. in your teeth, nothing to me. You could be